Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your friend and your brother, Pastor Felton, and I'm here at Immerse City, and we are coming to you with a segment that we're going to be doing weekly with our Immerse family members. And today I have the wonderful pleasure of interviewing one of our young people who, unbeknownst to many, is actually also my nephew. And I have the wonderful pleasure of interviewing him just about his journey and his faith and his walk with God. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and hopefully he does it right this time. But let him know who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Alright, so my name is David. I'm in the 9th grade.
Okay.
I have a little sister.
Okay.
Some of my hobbies, I like to play football.
Right.
I like to write poems.
He's bomb with that.
See. I go by the spoiled nephew, according to Uncle Felton.
Yes, he's my spoiled nephew. This boy will eat you out of a home. This boy will always want $1, and he definitely is obsessed with candy. And I cannot have food without him trying to eat it. Praise God in the Holy Bible.
Yeah, because during the Super Bowl party.
And no, you're not eating my food. Literally, he can have a whole plate next to him. But we didn't even call about that. But we're gonna to start off today. I wanted to ask you is, why did you're in the 9th grade, you're a full player, and actually he's not trash, he's very good. Actually, his team that he plays for just won the championship, and I'm very proud of him. And he was one of the important roles that led his team on many other factors of the team that were teammates that he had. So I'm just really proud of him as an uncle. But what was one of the things that made you want to come back to church, honestly?
One of the things that made me want to come back to church is basically the things I've been through in the past.
Okay.
And finding my calling.
Okay.
So basically, in the past, I was heavily in the streets, basically, and now I feel like God is basically gonna help me find my way.
Okay.
So I know I need help with the journey on becoming clean, coming back to church.
Was it hard making that decision?
Yeah, because no matter what, there was a lot of things around me that basically tried to pull me back in.
Okay.
And I had to separate myself in order to come back to church, and it was a hard journey, basically.
It was a hard journey. And so, like, in you, why was it, did you also have to deal with being in the 9th grade? Because I know that not in being uncle, like, I've seen you around your friends, and not saying that none of your friends don't go to church or anything, but how is that being in the relationships that you can be in the streets and school? Like, how did you have that conscious mind, like, no, this was enough, I need to go back to church? Because I remember the time when you had called me and said you wanted prayer. Like, when did you get that awakening now, like, God is calling me? Like, when did that point in time happen?
I had got into a little altercation, and I had realized it wasn't what I wanted. And hanging out with my friends that don't go to church, I'm seeing like what they're doing, and it's not really what I want to do. I basically want to find my calling and get help through my journey, becoming successful, and creating my own legacy, and which God one day is gonna help me do that.
Right. So you just say you do like, so you don't just do football, you do poems.
Yeah.
How did you get to writing poems?
I got into writing poems basically to express myself, how I feel, and basically I wanted to reach out to people as well, because I know poetry may be an outlet for some people, reading it may be a hobby for some people, but I like to take it serious because it's like poems can really change someone's life. If you like, yeah, it can change someone's life, or like inspire them to do something. Yeah.
So that means one of these Sundays you're gonna bust out a poem for us, and you're gonna recite it for the people.
But that is gonna come with like $100 fee.
See, listen, he always tries to hustle, but only because he's my nephew, he needs to get away with it. So, all right. So now, one of the things is, what do you think people your age struggle with the most? Like your friends, what do you see as a trend that they struggle with the most, and why do you think they struggle with that?
One thing they struggle with.
Or it could be like 2 to 3. Like, what do you think are some of the main things that your friends or you've even struggled with, and how do you think they need help with or advice?
Basically staying out the streets, because that's one thing we struggle with, is because like that's all that's around us, and we find it sometimes hard to separate ourselves when things are going on. Another thing, the culture, our culture, because we sometimes feel, or our mindset is basically to make it, but we don't really have the determination and we basically don't pride ourselves to make it. We think everything is gonna come easy, and it's really not. For some things you want, you gotta earn, you gotta work your blood, sweat, and tears, like basically. And yeah, so basically, yeah, that.
So why do you think y'all don't have determination? Like even use it to you. Why do you have determination before that you have now?
Because I feel like when we have things, I feel like we unappreciative, and we just we basically just feel like things are gonna come naturally, easy, and knowing from the middle school we came from, now going into high school, we facing reality, and it's gonna be.
So what are some of those realities? What are some of the realities that y'all face?
Some of the realities, we realize once you get to reality, you gotta basically grind by yourself. You gotta work on yourself. Basically, you gotta be there for yourself at certain points, because you're not always gonna have somebody there, and your determination, your drive is gonna keep you going. And so, yeah.
How did you get to that point where you had to realize you had to grind by yourself, work hard, and be disciplined? When did you wake up for that?
It took a couple of times. Okay. It took a couple of times for me to fail, on relying on somebody, to where I felt like I had to basically get it on my own. And I'm not saying get it on my own, because I know I got people that's here with me, like you, Maine, and some of my brothers, Prince, Chance, Gio, and Shama. I know they're gonna be here with me through the journey. And so basically, it's just we all gonna be here together, and we gonna work this thing out as a family, as one.
Okay. Yeah. And that's the thing. So I hear that importance about family. That's something that I teach us as a family. Though and people don't remember, as I call you my nephew. We're not blood, but being people, you may not know that David was my student for 4 years, and it kind of built into a family. What were some of the things that you learned from our family and that environment of that belonging that sometimes kids think that they can find in the streets? What did you learn from that circle, like from me or in Maine? What are some of the key things that you learned about having that role model and that figure in your life?
So basically, one thing I learned was family always got your back, and you don't, and basically, yeah, pretty much family always got your back. They always gonna be there for you no matter what. No matter family gonna fight, we gonna have our issues. But at the end of the day, we all gonna come together as one and go in for each other and do a lot of things for each other. So pretty much, that's one thing I learned. Another thing is basically, what can I say? We gonna motivate you no matter what.
Yeah.
We gonna support you. So I know I wasn't too open about my poems, but now y'all supporting me, helping me do things. So it's getting there.
I think that's one of the things and why I wanted to interview you, because I wanted kids to understand that you don't have to. Family doesn't make you blood. And even how I look at it, have a relationship with your mom, and she reached out to me, Isaac, at times, and I see that you have that support. I would tell anybody that's in, and I know you would agree with me, that if you don't mainly have, and I'm not saying you may be in a bad family, but you may need an outlet, and that's what we provided at the school that we had them at, is that outlet. Find somebody, find someone that you could talk to and confide in. How did you know who to trust?
I know who to trust based off of who, this is a tough question, basically on who was there for me when I went through the rough things. I know I went through some things in middle school, and basically I had some people that would just tell me, you can tell me this and tell me that, and I won't tell anybody. At first I didn't trust it, but as time went on, it stayed between us, and I grew. It began the start of family. I told my brothers, my uncles, my family, so it just pretty much helped me. It pretty much helped me, and I found out who to trust based off of who wouldn't abuse what I tell them.
So the last two questions I want to ask you is, first, this: what have you learned coming back to church?
I learned that God is always going to be with you. I'm not gonna say that God always has a plan for you, and He may at the time you may need Him, He may not be there, but when the time He's gonna come through at some point in your life. So I'm not saying use God for whatever you may want to use Him. Like I'm saying just worship Him, and He's basically gonna help you in return. So yeah.
Okay. And the last question: why do kids need to learn your age to get connected back to God or get into church? Why is that so essential?
One, I think they need to come back to church because, we're from Brooklyn, and basically a lot of things going on in Brooklyn right now. So basically, between gangs and stuff like that, and I feel like God is going to be an outlet for that, and I think God can bless them one day, like based off of like helping them get out of like what they're in, and God can be that outlet, have conversations with God, more stuff like that, and it'll basically keep them off the streets and make the streets safer. Because nowadays, like people dying for no reason, it's not, and it's like it's sad to this point. Like, and I feel like God can help with that. Committing yourself to God is a commitment, and He'll basically help you push through things, and help you realize He'll help you realize basically the people you need to surround yourself with, stuff like that, and basically He'll just make the street safer for you.
Amen. I believe that. And I said the last question, but this is really the last question. Why did you choose Emerge City? Like, how did you know this was your church? Like, many people think because I'm your uncle that you chose this, and it wasn't a force. You called me, and one thing I teach my nephews and my sons is that they all come on the growth process their own way. What made you want to make Emerge? Because you came here one time, it's like, no, this is I want to be here. I want to be a part. What made you want to be a part of Emerge City?
What made me want to be a part of Emerge City is the brotherhood, the family, because I seen the way Pastor Cologne, Pastor Felton, my Uncle Felton, Brother Jamel in the back, how they basically all are connected, and like how they all care for each other, do a lot for each other, and how they basically help each other evolve around God. And if God could do all of this, pretty much that's something I want in life. I just want my brothers and everybody to be connected, and basically we all make it together.
Wow. Thank you. And even though I call him the spoiled nephew, I don't normally really call him David, but I do thank David for taking this time, and I thank you for hearing this time with us and our Emerge life story. And until our next interview, we love you, and we hope that you'll join us one Sunday. And be on the lookout, young people, because David actually is getting ready to be planning some things, and with Pastor Jay and everyone here at the Emerge City family for young people. So, and it's not just going to be church related. We're going to be doing fun stuff. We got game nights, trips, and everything. So we are a church of fun and family, but we also are about faith. So be on the lookout.
So yeah.
No, you can't tell him yet. You can't tell. No, you can't tell him yet.
We got some things on the way.
We got things on the way because he's excited. He's so excited because he came with the idea today, and I said, "Okay, go for it." And he got this cheesy face that he got now. But just be on the lookout. So until next time, it's time to emerge. See you later.
Peace.